you'd be better off starting over with a few top cuttings of a Monstera rather than getting a huge plant from somewhere like here, here, or here. If you bought a Monstera in a 10-inch pot or larger, chances are it's triple planted or has a climbing pole placed haphazardly somewhere in the middle of its pot. It's growing wide and wild. But that's not what you're looking for. You want your plant to look like this. Or maybe this. If you did buy a large plant from a big box store, chances are your plant will never look like the way you imagine it. And to understand why, you've got to get in close. This plant has 3 stems, which is great, but if you look in close, they're all going in the wrong direction. Well, 3 separate directions. On the surface, this plant looks strong and healthy, but this Monstera is actually the worst plant that you can buy for future growth. Here are the 3 growth directions of this plant. Without climbing support, this plant is going to keep growing this way, wider and wider, and eventually it will start crawling on the ground. So of course, let's just put a climbing pole in there. But first, you'll have to find the back of your plant. Each stem has leaves that face forward, and on the back, you'll only find the aerial roots. This remains constant, and no amount of turning your plant can change this. You see how all the petioles meet the stem at the same place? This is the front of your plant. It can be kind of tricky to see this pattern on a smaller plant, but you can use this combined with the aerial roots to help you find the front and the back of your plant. I've found the back of this plant and I've tied just the stem to the climbing pole. The perfect position. You can't just plop a moss pole down in the middle of your plant because here's the back, and here's the back. So now to get the plant that you actually want, you need to get 3 separate moss poles. But here's the problem. Where's the front of the plant facing? Well, they're all facing each other, huddled in a corner like the shy kids at the party. Yep, that's okay. I used to be the shy kid at the party. You used to be? Okay, I still am, but the point is, most people don't want to go for the triple moss pole. Most people just want to stick a single moss pole in the middle of their plant. These pictures were sent to me by a follower who also has many stems in the same pot, all facing different directions. And they don't really have a choice but to just tie everything together, petioles and sometimes leaves included. They reached out to me on Instagram because they said that their plant was a clumpy mess, the leaves were stacked on top of each other, and the plant just really wasn't bringing them joy anymore. So let's sort this out for them. With the window here and our pot like this, we want the climbing support to be towards the edge of the pot. This will give us some room for planting. We want all of our plants facing forwards towards our window with the backs touching their climbing pole. This is the end goal. But you need some rooted top cuttings. Now I know this can be intimidating, but you need to get comfortable with chopping the top off of your plant, rooting it in water, and ready to start over. Once you have your rooted plant, whether it's 2 vines or more, you're ready to set your plant up for success. I'm just choosing a bamboo stake because this plant is a small form Monstera, and I know that I have about 1 year before I would need to upgrade and repot this plant again. I loosened the soil to fit both of these plants in the same size container. It's not something that you need to do, and yes, I am reusing old soil, and that's totally fine too. Now that you have the front of all of your plants facing the right direction and their backs touching the climbing pole, your plant is in the right position to grow and reach its fullest potential. I gave that viewer a bit of a sneak peek of this video and well, just let the plant speak for itself. She's much happier. Now you have to watch this video to make sure that you're giving your Monstera what it needs to grow, or if you just want to watch me repot a giant Monstera, you can check out this video here. I'll see you next time.